Happy time zones! It's your bird, Haven the Raven, and welcome back to my first ever solo run of Code Vein. Whoops. Today, at the very least, I'll hold on to this just because, yeah, just because it needs less in the way of stats. Today we're going to be essentially starting off... I'll hold on to one of these. With depths maps, I can't guarantee that I'm actually going to beat them. But they're a possibility, but I can try. Really? Rubelite and Queenslayer require the same stats. Did not know that. Pretty sure Queenslayer Claw can be used by anything, but... I'm actually pretty sure that Nightclaw can be used by everything. I'm not gonna go with the Fangs. There's certain ones that it can't be used by. Prayer Shawl is good for if you're doing a mind build, but I'm not. $400. Sell items. Never gonna remember to use these. Or those. That's enough for a level. Anyway, off into the depths.
This is all we've got for available routes.
Well, I'm going to... I can attempt Flood of Impurity, but I'm gonna actually start off with attempting Silent Light. I can't guarantee that I'm gonna manage to get there. Even if I don't manage Flood of Impurity, I can still re-challenge the Invading Executioner if I need to. Remember, depths maps are technically optional, so while they're helpful, I don't have to complete any of them. I'm just doing this because if I don't... Why am I... Hold on. Glad I actually stopped and looked at that. Right, I did that on purpose so I would actually stop and take a look at my build. And I still almost didn't stop and take a look at my build. I'm a disaster on a good day, aren't I? I believe, actually... Yeah, Jupiter's Blade. And it's willpower. Okay, so this is the only... dark gift you can use no matter... Or, well... If you decide to kill off Aurora and not go Ribcage. Because, for some reason, Aurora's own blood code has most of the dark lightning gifts in the game. That was weird. Anyway...
First, I want to know who she is to
I'll collect this as well. Do what I can, but I really don't... If I can't beat this, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Oh, brilliant. Uh-oh. I don't know what that was about. Usually, Phantom Assault doesn't put me in situations like that, but okay. Phantom Assault is great because of the teleportation. You can technically use it to escape if you really, really position yourself well. Over here. I'm not even gonna bother with any of the, Get over here. I'm not really gonna bother with my haze right now, I don't think. Huh. Alright, so I managed to take one of you out. There we go. Two, and the third one... My dear, you are not the charm. Collect this. And this. Mine. Like that too. I want to know... Come on, get over here. This would technically have to be underneath the Ridge of Frozen Souls, I think. Because it wouldn't make sense if it wasn't. There's only 2 places in the game that are covered in ice like this, and both of them are due to the influence of powerful creatures. One being the successor of the Breath, and the other being the Frozen Empress. Oh, come on. There we go. Would you stop that? Uh-oh. Nope. Ah! Yeah, I can't even guarantee that I'm gonna manage one of these. I'm definitely not going to bait my head against the two. I know that you are the two. Like, I might be able to handle the one. But I think the two would be pushing it. I don't plan on going into New Game Plus with this, so I can attempt this later if I really want to. But I'm still a little worried about getting awake MJ212s. The 212s are definitely going to be the problems. I can handle... Like, I can reliably get every other awake in the game, but the 212s, despite being mid-game, are actually the rarest. Because this is the only depths map that has a boss that drops it. Yeah, because the 310s are very plentiful once you actually hit late game. There's like 4 depths maps that have the 310s. The 018s, you get those right out the gate. And the, shoot, what are they? I don't remember. 109s are also pretty easy to get your hands on. The 212s are a lot more rare. I think every depths map up until this point gave either 018s or 109s. Actually, wait. There might be one that gives... Or there might be one other that gives 212s. I'm going to have to hold out hope for Arachnid Grotto. Provided I can even beat Gilded Hunter, that is. Suppose I shouldn't count my chickens before they hatch. Fen, what are you doing? Hey! Stop it. Fen! You are going to break something. Stop it. Oh dear. I know I complain about the black yetis, but the white ones can be a problem too. Fen! Fenrir! Mic going off. Oh, Jen, hello, how you doing? I'm doing normally, thank you for asking. Oh dear. I definitely got more sleep than I did last night. Glad to hear you're doing well. Yeah, I have no hope at this moment in time for beating this depths map. Oh dear. Yeah, back to form. The problem with this depths map is the Yetis. Oh dear. We're gonna do that. Oh dear. So I already wasn't too keen on attempting to beat this map at present. I'll probably wind up coming back when I'm actually, like, way over leveled or something. But there are Yetis in this board. And oh boy, are they pains in the rear. Can I get a backstab, please? Thank you. That makes you slightly less painful to deal with. And that wins me the match. Now, the white Yetis, while annoying, aren't really a problem. The issue with this map are the black Yetis. I died to the black Yetis, or well, the singular black Yeti over on that path. And I haven't even attempted this path, because if I can't beat the one black Yeti, there's no way I'm beating the two. Okay, let's go back to the Outer Crossroads, because that finishes off this guy's quest. And then head over to the trenches, not the Cliffs of Rust. And then I attempt Ashen Cavern. Oh boy. I think most of the stuff in Ashen Cavern is weak to lightning, with the, I think, notable exception.
Greetings. Oh, yes. Good. I think if you have any materials from the old world, I can give you valuables in exchange. Don't hesitate.
Now we go to you, because I don't remember if I actually turned in your quest. I might have, I might not have. Wait, there might that one quest on the Ridge of Frozen Souls might be there now. I might actually be able to do that quest on the Ridge of Frozen Souls, the one that I was concerned about last time. Did I do your quest? I did not. Okay. Ridge of Frozen Souls. You. Okay, Fen, what are you doing? Sweetie, I love you. What are you doing? I think he's just trying to get comfy, but at the same time, his way of getting comfy is trying to move the furniture. Oh, that one. Okay, so she's not here yet. Or did I not turn in the thing at Crypt of the Ribcage? So I had a period of time when I was playing Enotria specifically, where every time I turned around, it was like every stream I got at least like 2 or 3 people trying to sell me their art. And I did check out a couple of their profiles, but the art all looked pretty much exactly the same. So either it's a group of students just doing random shit, or they were using AI. Either way, it wasn't even really all that high quality. Oh, Yarrow, hello! How you doing? Yes, this is a Souls-like. This is actually the game that got me into Souls. I believe it was this one. Because it wasn't until I played this game that Souls combat actually started to click for me. Yes. Fen, what? Sit. Don't go chasing the cats or anything, okay, baby? I don't know what set you off. All of these are my magic. Fen, can you not bark out the window? There's nobody there. Okay, I think he's quieted down. You never know with him, because he's a fucker. But yes, we do have magic in this game. It lets you set up 8 active gifts, which are what they call the magic and the skills in this game. And 4 passive. For example, the 4 on my bottom radial are all buffs. The thing on the square button is actually a weapon skill. It uses my weapon to deal damage. And the other 3 on my top radial are ranged attacks. Yes, there are fireballs. I'm just switching stuff out because I don't want to deal with resistances. And I can't remember if the stuff in here is more resistant to lightning or ice. I know a good portion of the stuff is pretty resistant to fire, though. I know you're there. I kind of need the buffs for this run, actually. 'Cause normally you play with a partner. There's an AI character that will follow you around. And you can actually pick from a handful of them. The point of this run is that I'm not using one of those AI companions. Because I'm not using one of them, that really decreases the overall damage output from my quote-unquote side, so I need the buffs to make up for that. And if you're playing as a melee character, you're likely to have more buffs anyway, since this game is actually very forgiving with what you can and can't. You can quite literally change out your loadout just in the field. So if it really comes down to it, and you don't want to have, oh dear, one of the buffs anymore, just unequip it. It is quite literally that easy. This is honestly, for anybody who's first getting into Souls, I would actually recommend this game to them. The combat is its own thing, but it's also definitely Souls. The characters are likable, though they did some of them dirty. And if you're not used to the brutal difficulty and how technical Souls combat gets, just run around with a partner in this game, because there's a cooldown, of course, but your partner can revive you if you die. Get over here. Ma'am? The AI partner, or if you decide you want to do co-op, because this game does allow co-op, I believe another player can revive you. I've never actually done co-op in this game myself. If I can find someone to do co-op with in this game, that actually might be a good run.
This is my home. I'm the only one who lives here now, so make yourselves comfortable.
Good riddance. I feel like I should say obviously here, but this game is not perfect. Don't go in here expecting a perfect experience. You shouldn't go into any game expecting a perfect experience. There's always going to be something you dislike.
Wow, Carmilla.
But overall, I do think that for anybody new to the Souls genre, this is one of the better starting points. If you want to start with the Souls series specifically, I'd actually recommend starting with Dark Souls 2. Though Elden Ring also isn't a bad starting point. I have not played Minesweeper. I keep getting that recommended to me by my chat. I don't know why. Because you're like... I can't remember if it's third or fourth to request or to ask me that. Yeah, nice bloody try. You're coming to me, lady. I'm not going over to you. Okay. And you are actually relatively safe for me to take out now. Something I actually sort of wish other games would do is that you have a flexible mana pool. There you are. Knew there was one of you somewhere nearby. You notice how I have 39 out of 40 in the bottom corner there, right? Oh, damn it. That replenishes itself in a couple different ways, but mostly from attacking enemies. Or from draining, or from doing the drain attack, which the drain attacks are the backstabs and the parries. There's also launch attacks, but I can never get those to work properly. Hi. You can, actually. There's also a gift, which is a spell that sacrifices some of your HP to make Iker. I have actually used that because I did another challenge run on this game before that was support only. I wasn't allowed to do any damage at all to anything other than myself. And the reason I had to add the to anything other than myself caveat was because of that life drain. Or was because I was trading my life for Iker. And it is actually possible to beat New Game Plus with that, by the way. Or New Game Plus difficulty. The AI partners are actually pretty good. I'm not getting that. Okay. But if you use that, you can pretty much spam spells. But as I was saying, this game has a flexible Ichor pool. Or your Ichor pool is flexible. Because... Alright, Alright, you take more damage from ice. When you first set out, you have a base Ichor value. And as you continue to drain attack, or you use items, which the items that do this are incredibly rare, so save those for dire situations. But as you drain attack or use the Ichor boosting items, your Ichor count will actually go up. 40 is the maximum Ichor count for the Queenslayer Blood Code, which is my class. Eos, for example, has, you see how it says Ichor 30-30, or 30 out of 30, and then in parentheses 60? That means that it's a maximum Ichor count of 60. Most have 40 to 60 as their maximum, but there are some notable exceptions. Wait, what? One second. Apologies, have to check chat for a second because a bot just decided to spam chat. It doesn't show up on your end, but it does on mine. How do I want to do this? I guess... Alright, so you take 331 from that. None from a miss like that. Okay, yeah, you don't like ice. You do not like ice. Nice try. I did, okay. Oh, come on. Stop making me miss my shots. Such a shame. There we go. Now I handle... I don't want to go too far over this way just yet because I'm going to be respawning stuff if I do. Get over here. Come on, I just need to lure you into this nice, secluded alleyway. Why do I keep getting hit by that? Anywho... Oh, pfft. not good. I can deal with your BS later. I just needed you, or that one dead, so that I had an easier time running. Just die. There we go. Collect you. Or, well, not collect, kill you. Why did I say collect? I'm not gonna rest here yet, but I am going to unlock that so that I have an easier time of things later. Mine. You actually dropped something, which is unusual. I still think Yakumo's vestiges should have been here instead. Don't get me wrong, learning a little bit about him earlier helps, but, or is cool. But... this place means more to him than it ever possibly could to Mia. You're mine, and now we run like my life depends on it, because it sort of does. Or, well, not my life, but my haze depends on it. My life will be fine, I'll respawn, but I don't want to lose the haze. Or, well, I don't want to have to travel too far to get my haze back. Oh dear. Oh dear. And this is why I ran. At least since I got the missile, I got the loot, and my haze is not really lost. Perks of knowing how to route. Good riddance. I'll be taking this now. What? I was... Come on, I hit the parry button. I guess it was on cooldown. The game really doesn't want me to parry right now. Okay, I honestly think I did really well with designing Acnaray. Come on. What? Are you seriously caught on the... Come on. Get back into this little alcove. Where I can backstab you with no repercussions. Ooh, first try backstab. Nice. How did that not stagger you out of your blood ball?
Everything that I had or held dear, all vanished instantly in the great collapse.
I can't remember if Survivor gives me anything useful. Get over here. Or at least anything useful enough to warrant using one of my awakes. I'm really hoping Arachnid Grotto drops 212s. Because Silent White isn't happening anytime soon. Okay, and that is all of the treasure in this area, unless I want to tackle the Lost Invasion. It's an option if I fail as badly against Gilded Hunter as I think I'm going to. Back to base for a skipathon. I want to know what the exact trigger for the lady showing up at Nicola's crypt is. EO! I need you to reveal some secrets of the past to me. Okay. Wait, did I forget to pick up the Eos? Whatever. We'll check that after the skipathon. Okay, that's the end of what I currently have. For anyone who hasn't played this game before, the vestiges and the memory restoration at EO is how you unlock more gifts from the different blood codes. For example, because I need Scout Vestige for this, I can't get it yet. This I can get everything for. Eos is still... Okay, I definitely didn't... There's no way I got the one outside of the Crypt of the Breath. That might be the one that I'm actually missing. Because I could have sworn I had the elemental one by the time I got to City of Falling Flame. But if you don't restore the memories, then you won't be able to get the gifts for the blood codes. I will say, though, that having the gifts transfers over into New Game Plus cycles. Okay, so I was wrong. If you unlock a blood code in New Game and go into New Game Plus, you will have everything you had access to in regular New Game, and that actually does include companions. Which is kind of the only way that specific companion only, except for Louis specifically, becomes viable. Louis is the only companion that you have access to from the first boss onward for the rest of the game. The only issue with that is, really the only issue with Louis in that regard is the fact that he can't go into one area. There's one specific area he's not allowed in. Alright, none of you will follow me up here. Let's get this over with. .413 and okay, you definitely take more damage from ice. I should have put on ice weapon. And I have time while you're doing that. What? Oh dear. Yeah, Gilded Hunter is rough. Let's see what gifts I have available. Actually, I should have checked that earlier, but oh well. The roars aren't gonna help me, really. I already have Ice Spike. These I don't have the willpower for. Nope. And Eos isn't gonna do much for me. Icicle Barrage might be helpful, but... Okay, so he definitely takes more damage from ice than lightning. In that sense, I'm actually going to just get rid of any of the ones I don't have a use for. Did I just... Well then. Guess I don't have to worry about collecting my haze. That's embarrassing. I'm probably going to be on Gilded Hunter for a while. Gilded Hunter is strong. I was dodging. I swear I was dodging. Gilded Hunter is kind of unique in that his buff actually, or his phase 2 is a buff, not a actual phase 2. So if I'm careful, thank you. If I'm careful, I can actually just wait out his buff. Kind of the same strategy I used for Artorias for Build Up the Child. And then strike when he runs out. The issue is actually dodging. Oh dear. Not gonna bother with my haze. And now here's where things get troublesome. What? I was hitting dodge. Why were you not dodging? It's possible to do. I've done it before. Can't have you shooting me in the back. It's just really annoying. This boss, I'm not even joking, was the only actual wall my first playthrough. Okay. Not good. All right. Not good, not good. Just gotta hope. There we go! Okay! Wait, what?
A vestige.
No. By wall, I mean this guy literally took me like a week to beat. I don't think I've had any other Souls boss wall me this bad except Consort. And in Consort's case, that's just because his design isn't very good. This guy's just hard. Okay, I know I have hard haze. There we go. And now that unlocks a few things, I think. Like, the Black Yetis are annoying, but they didn't wall me, really. I just didn't really want to deal with them. Let's be real here. There we go, Arachnid Grotto, that's good. And now we zoom past this guy. A little worried about Arachnid Grotto, actually, because, the boss of that one is also Gilded Hunter. And, Jan, we've talked about this. The bosses in Amalur, aside from one notable exception, who is probably the hardest boss I've ever fought, simply because on higher difficulties, no matter your build, he will one-shot you. They're a joke. That game is not really centered around boss fights. So, of course, Tirnock was going to be quick. My build in that is just, look, Amalur lets you get ridiculous. Okay, City of Falling Flame. This place... Just this place. Are you in front of Nicola now? City of Falling Flame is, without a doubt, the worst area in the game, honestly. A lot of people complain about getting lost in Cathedral, but I sometimes have trouble navigating the City of Falling Flame. And the literal fire on the ground doesn't help. You. Okay, so it was Gilded Hunter that was your trigger. There we go. I'm not actually using any chromes right now, but chromes are useful because they change the properties of your weapon or blood veil, which your blood veil is your armor. Your blood veil is also part of what indicates how strong your spells are, so that's definitely something to look at. But for example, Fion, which is the chrome I just got, will add ice damage to a weapon you put it on and increase the ice defense of a blood veil you put it on. I'm not really playing around with chromes right now, but when I do, it's
Thanks.
Okay, T.
I know how... You're the...
Do I have anything else for you? No. I'll take one of those because the Ichor Bloods...
Really got...
Ichor Blood is the item I was talking about. The one that increases your Ichor count.
Happy.
Ah. Okay, so that was for EO. EO and Davis are the hard ones for me.
Let the lost make a meet. We don't. However, this is all. Just what? More gift. More gift.
Because you just have so much to trade for.
Waste not. The fighting will get more intense from here on out.
I want to. Can you give me?
Oh, wait, I do have something else for Louis. Do that in a minute. For now, you have some remedies that could be handy, actually. That I know for a fact I'm gonna want later.
Find something valuable. Make sure you're ready. However, I think my sister liked these before she became a revenant. We will thank you.
It wasn't letting me skip that first line. You will listen to Louis speak.
Waste not.
Those are for Jack. That's Eva. Coco. Okay, that's Murasame, and I could give that to Yakumo or Murasame. I'm gonna give it to Murasame.
Thanks to... is that... I appreciate
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Murasame. I thought that.
Make sure you...
I took them first. I never. Oh, I've been looking. Make sure you're.
Sorry, Murasame.
I could see it. It's struck. Thanks.
Okay.
Watch yourself.
Do I have any vestiges? Hang on. Okay, just Scout. And Scout I need to go into the depths for anyway. So, off to Arachnid Grotto.
I feel. This is all we've got for available route. It's unexplored territory for me.
No promises on actually beating Arachnid Grotto, but it shouldn't be as bad as Silent White. Even with Gilded Hunter as a boss. Because at least in this case, Gilded Hunter is just the big boss. I don't have to deal with anything crazy for the little guys. And I do mean crazy. 2 Black Yetis in an enclosed space is just wrong. At least the big bosses I don't have to do a run back for. This game's actually very good about the run backs. I can't think of a single run back that's particularly rough. Unless you forget to unlock a shortcut or grab a missile. Ridge of Frozen Souls kicked my ass the first time because I forgot to grab any missiles on the way up the mountain, so I was running the entire board just to get back to Nicola. I mean, I still won, but my sister was laughing at me after she found multiple missiles that I just missed. Needless to say, I never made that mistake again. I think I might have also done that with Gilded Hunter, actually. But I'm gonna be real here, I don't think... Oh dear. Okay, we're just gonna trade. I'm going to be real here. I don't think finding the closer one to Gilded Hunter would have helped any. I got my ass handed to me. Like, I think that guy created a second ass to kick. It was that bad. I'm always going to approach Gilded Hunter with some degree of caution. That guy walled me for a long time, and it was my first time playing the game. And I wasn't particularly good at Souls then, considering this was the first... This was my introduction to the genre, essentially. I'd attempted other Souls titles, or well, the actual From Software Souls titles, but I hadn't beaten them. I think the farthest I'd gotten was in Dark Souls 3. I'd beaten Gundyr, made it into the high wall, and died to some dogs. Eudex Gundyr, not Champion. I didn't even know Champion was a thing until I'd stumbled upon it for myself the first time. And had some internal panic because why does he have a reskin? But that would have been the farthest I'd gotten in any other Souls or Souls-like before I played Code Vein. So Gilded Hunter really scared me. Okay. Scout. I'm definitely gonna rest before I attempt to tackle Gilded Hunter. Because while the extra Ichor is nice, I'm almost guaranteed to lose my haze at least a couple times. But I want to know what he drops. Okay, come on, back over to the door. I don't want to fall in the holes. Come on, big guy. There we go. And then over here, because if Gilded Hunter drops 212s, then if I wind up needing more 212s later, I might actually be able to come back here and grind them. Even though grinding Gilded Hunter does not exactly sound intelligent, it might be my only option. Oh dear. You need to go. Because again, 212s are the hard one. Unlocking one of the ones that gives 310s might be a little troublesome. Or one of the bosses that gives 310s might be a little troublesome. But I've never really had that much of a problem with the throat. Like, no matter my build, I was always pretty good with the throat. Don't take that out of context. So once I have that unlocked, there's not much of an issue. I am not confident in my ability to handle the Black Yetis at all in Silent White. And unless this... I cannot remember if this drops 212s or 310s. I could have sworn... If you'd asked me earlier today, I would have said it guarantee 310s. But I actually think now that it might drop 212s, and if it does, then it's the only way I'm going to be getting 212s. Unless I decide to beat my head against Yetis for a while. Which I don't want to do. It says a lot about how annoying I find the Yetis that I'm actually more willing to grind Gilded Hunter. Oh dear. And now I run for a bit because I need the inhibit to go away. The last thing I need is to find myself inhibited. Uh-oh. Ladies, let's talk about this. Oh dear. There we go, okay. Was that a throwing knife? Oh, thank you. Ooh, pure blood. That's always handy. That's a full heal and a full Ichor refill. Only to be used in dire situations. However, very valuable because of it. Like if you... When I say dire situations, I mean dire situations. If you're using pure blood, you're in a bad situation. Okay, you two, is that a halberd or a bayonet? I can't tell. Halberd. Uh-oh. There we go. And then I can focus on you. Goodbye. And now I go and spend these on levels. Because I am not walking into Gilded Hunter with that amount of haze. I just beat him, so I'm not going to grind my head again or beat my head against him for an hour, but I'll give him a good 2 or 3 attempts. Alright. What, did you miss me? Oh dear. Oh dear. I messed up. Yep, that was me getting greedy. Oh, and I almost waited out the buff too. I shouldn't have attacked. I know for a fact there's like nothing there in terms of haze, so I'm not gonna bother collecting it. What? What? Okay. What? Yeah, yeah. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Oh, dearie me. I had to spend a little more time than I would have liked. What? On healing myself earlier, so he had more health at the end of this than I would have preferred. Okay, so he does drop 212s. If I need to, I can come grind him. That's one worry out of the way. That's not worth anything. However, I'll have to get you later. Bion. I'm heading into a spot that really does not like ice, so... Yeah, you use 212s and Night. Where's Night? Or Dark Night. There we go. That is helpful. And I'm glad I had enough 212s. Now, back to the Acclimator Ruins. I think I might be able to get the first scout thing if I head back to base. And then into the City of Falling Flame. Hands down, the worst area in the game.
What?
There we go. Let's put on flame protection, because you want that for this area. And ice barrage. Thank you for the book, Louis. Reason I'm actually pretty okay. I should focus more heavily on light gifts than dark if I'm using Queenslayer. Well, I should obviously focus more heavily on my actual weapon attacks and buffs for Queenslayer, but light gifts actually do pretty well. Yo, yo. Hello. Oh, really? I don't... I have A and C, but not B or D. Okay.
Was I of any assistance?
Okay. Suppose that tracks. Alright, time for the worst area in the game. And I'm actually not joking about that. City of Falling Flames sucks. There are certain sections where I legitimately might just run past everything and not give a fuck about my haze. Because this place is annoying with a partner. Ow. This is the worst area in the game because not only is it vaguely maze-like, not only are the enemies here actually pretty strong, but the ground itself can hurt you. And the walls. I'm just glad it doesn't work like... I'm just glad that the air itself isn't overheated here. Well, overheated to the point of, actually damaging me, at least. I believe I came from that direction. Ow. That's up. If there was ever an area to, or that I would say is the reason you would want to parry in this game, this would be it. A single move in the wrong direction and you're just on fire. Granted, what the fire does is chip damage, but chip damage adds up. A little bit of chip might not sound like much, but a little bit of chip 100 times is a lot of damage. Hi. Oh dear. There we go. Okay. And I can actually just fall down over here because there's nothing along that path. Oh dear. Upsy daisy. The good news is that, relatively speaking, this is a short area. Get over here. You're gonna make the first move whether you like it or not. Come on. Wow, this guy's not falling for it. This guy's really just not falling for it. Doesn't my face look so smackable, though? Come on. And he fell for it. Negan, hello, how you doing? I guess he could have been restricted in the space, but polearms, at least the one he had, he could use as a pokey stick instead of a slashy stick. Negan, I do 3 games a week. Oh, do you see there? Yes, I know that there's a Code Vein 2 in the works. Sorry, I read your comment wrong. Come on. Nope. That I know is impossible to parry. Yeah, I do plan on checking out Code Vein 2, honestly. It's one of the few that I'm actually just not going to listen to reviews on. Normally I do a lot of research, but considering this is the game that got me into Souls, I feel like I kinda owe it to the sequel to at least look. Or, well, to at least attempt it. Okay, I missed a path. Where did I miss a path? What? Oh, wait. No, I didn't miss a path, yeah, I missed a path. Where did I... City of Falling Flame, everybody. Actually, I could just drop down here. Are you gonna check it out, Negan? Oh, okay. It wasn't that I missed a path, it was that I mistook it for the way forward. Got it. Alright. That will be helpful pretty soon. And you, I am so about to cheese from up here. Fair enough. You will probably find this easier than some of the Souls games you've played in the past. If you're going to get started on Souls as a genre, I would definitely recommend starting with this game. If you want to start with one of the From Software Souls games, I actually recommend starting with Dark Souls 2. We're going to be here for a little while, because I'm going to take full advantage of the fact that this guy can't really do much to me while I'm up here. Because I'm a troll like that. Okay, come on. Back over here, we're gonna repeat the cycle. I actually don't think... I think he might actually be able to hit me with that. So I'm just going to wait over here. Come on, circle back around so I can smack you in the face with an ice spear, or ice spike. Don't you want to catch these icicles? There we go. Doesn't look like that's anything over there. And I never have to go back down there. Moving on, because I got the loop around. The fact that I'm still taking damage while backstabbing is not cool. Oh well. Wait, what? What are you two talking about? What's Glenn? I'm so glad that I can parry. It makes this area so much less of a pain in the ass. Because dodging with the fire is not fun. That's undodgeable, or unparryable. Ah, okay. Not quite my thing. Okay, you get over here. I don't want to deal with the monkeys and you. Someone's determined to hold their ground. Negan, did you attack an NPC? And this is the map. put my fire barrier back up so I'm less likely to wind up crispy. There shall be no fried spider on the menu today. And off we go. I believe I did get the shortcut, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. Oh, right. Cutscene! Time to skip it.
What a ter-
Alright, I can't remember if it's a ramp behind you or an actual... or a ladder. And because I can't remember... Oh dear. We're just gonna try and loop you on backstabs. Wait, if you're talking about a TV show, then why is there talk about your finger slipping twice? Make it make sense, please. Okay, so it was a ladder. I could have just run past. And we'll probably do that if I die up here. Which way is it? Okay, that's where I have to go, so this is where I want to go. Oh. Can you stop that? I believe this is coffee? Yeah. Why did I remember that? Oh, wait, is this roleplay? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll be honest, I know, like, nothing about The Walking Dead. So my brain's just not connecting some things that that anybody who actually knows anything about The Walking Dead would connect. Monkey see, monkey die. I bet my take was kind of amusing on your end, though, huh? Okay. The best villains are honestly the ones that have fun with it. You can have a villain that is, on paper, horrible, but they can be a really good villain if you, say, get an actor that really likes the role. Ah! So is it the writing or the performance that makes the character in that regard? Fair enough, I suppose. One of the best villains I've encountered in media. If you haven't played it, go play Okami. Because the villain of the game's second arc is absolute genius in a way that you wouldn't really expect at first. Like, obviously, after a certain point, some alarm bells would start going off in your head. But Okami's second villain is actually really damn good. And that's just writing, because there isn't really any voice, or, well, there's voice acting, but there's not voice acting. Oh dear. We're still in the middle of the arc, so I can't say with 100% certainty, but so far, the current arc villain for Genshin Impact is actually really interesting, and it gave me chills. It's pretty rare for a Genshin villain to do that. I'm hoping they don't butcher him later. No, I have not played a Far Cry game. Oh, actually, the main villain of this game is a really good villain. You actually detest the character. And it's kind of clear that, I believe it was Keith Silverstein, had a lot of fun voice acting him. Yeah, the main villain in this game isn't even actually the final boss. He's the reason the final boss exists. But they definitely nailed main villain with this one. Because he's sort of like, you just can't. They don't reveal him terribly early on. Like, he gets revealed, like, actually revealed at about mid-game. Oh dear. But once he is revealed, Holy shit, he steals the show in every scene he's in. You can hear how unhinged he is. He's written in a way that makes you want to kill him. He's a pain in the ass as a boss, but when you actually kill him, it is so satisfying. And he actually fits into the lore pretty well too. Like anybody, this game is connected to the God Eater series, and anybody who knows anything about God Eater, oh dear, knows what sorts of individuals are responsible for a lot of the inhumane treatment that some of the casts can suffer. Particularly if you've played God Eater 3. I don't know much about the first two because I haven't played those. But the main villain of this game fits in with the lore of that. Like, not even just the lore of Code Vein itself, pretty well. And while he's outright revealed in mid-game, it's not like he didn't have a presence before then. Which is nuts. If I die, I respawn there. I'll have to check out the Far Cry series. See if it's my thing. Or my kind of thing. Why did I do that? Okay, if you're gonna stand there buffing, I'm gonna get off a backstab. Fair trade to me. Or seems like a fair trade to me.
Don't be ridiculous. We aren't going to leave you behind.
Then back down here. Collect this, and that's pretty much everything in the City of Falling Flame. Technically, I could have gone for the titanium earlier, but I didn't want to. Going for the titanium earlier means that I have a longer way to go before the next missile. What other good villains can I think of? As much of a joke as the final boss is if you build your character correctly, or well, not correctly, but utilizing every option at your disposal, Tirnoch was pretty well done. Alduin was kind of pathetic, actually. Who else? Jan! What do you mean I don't get to talk about Tirnoch?
Make sure you've got...
Like, damn! Don't tell Daddy Ani I said this, but... oh my gosh. Don't tell Daddy Ani I said this, but Gwendolyn's actually a pretty good villain. I think Pontiff should have had a little more presence, but he would have been a great villain if he'd gotten like a cutscene or something. I mean, if you read the lore, then yeah, he's a great villain, but he doesn't really steal the show. Like, I'm actually gonna let the cutscene where we meet the villain of this game play for you, Jan, just so you can see just how vile this guy actually is. The writers of this game knew exactly what to do with him. Of course, I have to get through some cutscenes. Well, I have to get through a skipathon. And then the next boss first.
Please spin a thread of memory for me.
Like, people in... this game understood the assignment. Make a villain. Roger that. I don't know if Code Vein 2 is going to be able to top this guy. I honestly doubt it.
Please spin a thread of memory for me.
And I can talk about Tirnock if I want to talk about Tirnock. She wasn't that tough as a boss, but as a villain, she actually was pretty well written. That's it?
Please spin a thread of memory for me.
That's it, okay. Okay. Successor of the Claw. I don't tend to have much of an issue with her, but... oh dear. The small child surprised me, so... we'll see if she does as well. Oh dear. Wait, what? Give me a second to read that, or give me a second to actually finish this fight, whether I, oh dear, win or die. Okay, what did you say? This is a game you need both writing and playing style. I mean, yes and no. There are times where a boss being weak does serve a story purpose as well.
What?
Alright, skip one more cutscene, and then time for the, big bad of this game to show up. Because he really does just show up to fucking taunt us. Like the evil goat he is. Gosh. See what I mean by they understood the assignment? Oh. Eos. Like, what even was that? Hey, Fen, come on. My guy just showed up to taunt us. Fen. But that guy showed up specifically to taunt us and then left. Who was Eva? Eva... Eva's the reason we came down here. I skipped the cutscene so you wouldn't have seen it, but after I returned to base... Oh dear. Can you not chase me? Sort of. One of the big plot points with this game is the relics. And Jack and Eva were killing the people who carried the relics and put the relics in new people who weren't going to be corrupted by them. In the meantime, Eva would serve... for fuck's sake. But the relics needed to be sealed away, and because of the fact that Eva had a very high natural compatibility with them, she was carrying them temporarily in case they needed to be moved to a new successor, a new person who holds on to them. Mito stole the relics from her body and then forced her into a frenzied state so that she can no longer hold on to her own relic. She was trying to hold on when she showed up at the base, telling us about, well, what she was doing, and asking us to go help Jack because Mito had attacked them. But with the defeat of the successor of the Claw, she is frenzied. Which means that she's currently being turned into a monster. Jack is quite literally her partner in the field. Though there are some the way they talk to and about each other seems to imply that there are some feelings involved. Does that clear things up?
Yeah, it's
Alright, I'm actually just gonna use a Vivifier. Because I don't want to walk back. This in-between area kinda sucks. I don't want to walk back. I'm glad for that. But yeah, and that's how he introduces himself to us, by the way. That's how Mito introduces himself to the player character. We did not see him until that point. We'd only heard about him. And even then, he wasn't mentioned until Eva showed up asking us for help. Like, he wasn't mentioned by name. I'm just gonna go through and see if there's any quests I can do in some of these areas. My current progress, I'm almost 3/4 of the way through the main story. Once I tackle the Eva situation, I will actually be 3/4 of the way through the story. Okay, there is something here.
If you have any materials from the old world, I can give. Don't hesitate.
We don't actually... As I was saying, I believe I said this before, but Mito is not the final boss of the game. He's the main villain and the reason the final boss even happens, but he's not the final boss of the game. So we actually get to kill him relatively soon after we face... Or, well, handle Eva. Because... of main story content, I have... Crown of Sand, which is where Eva is. Then Crypt Spire, which is where Mito is. Well, Mito and what many people consider to be the most difficult boss in the game. Provisional Government Outskirts, and then Provisional Government Center. That's 4 main story areas. Once I tackle Eva, I'm in... Well, actually, I suppose I'm technically in the 3rd act at this point. Because now the stakes have just gotten a lot higher. But this is about... or a little less than 3/4 of the way through the game, I think. Because halfway, if I'm remembering correctly, would be Cathedral. Or, well, beating Cathedral. There's also a bunch of depths maps, which are optional content, and the DLCs, which are, you guessed it, optional content. But as far as main story goes, I'm actually closing in. Crypt Spire worries me. I've never actually fought Blade Bearer and Cannon. This is my first time doing a solo run of this game in general, but Blade Bearer and Cannoneer worries me because that's a duo fight. It's the only mandatory duo fight in the game. And it's not exactly easy. I have died a lot to it. I've died to Mito more, though, and Mito is the whole reason I wanted to have access to a bayonet. Because he's actually easier with a bayonet than with the vast majority of other playstyles. And I actually can't access the DLCs until I beat Mito. Not unless I'm in New Game Plus. The game makes you beat Mito before it deems you worthy of the DLCs. Mito's definitely going to be an interesting one. He's scary. He didn't kill me as many times as Gilded Hunter did, but he killed me a lot my first playthrough, and a lot more on my freaking support runs. He's the reason I have not beaten Tower of Trials 2. He is the sole reason I have not beaten Tower of Trials 2 as the help, or as support only. If it was any other boss down there, I could probably do it, but not Mito. I mean, it might technically be possible with Mia specifically. But still, that requires a ton of RNG. And I tried it like 6 times. Like 6 full streams. And I didn't get anywhere. Because there's a Mito reskin in Tower of Trials 2. I don't think there's anything else in the trenches. I'm pretty sure there's nothing else in the cathedral, but I can check. Oh, wait! Karen. I want to go to the cathedral for Karen. I keep forgetting about Karen. There's probably nothing in the first half of Cathedral, but Karen is definitely something I should go back for. Oh, wait, there's a Lost Invasion I never cleared. At this point, I'm a little too overpowered for it, I think, though. I'm gonna give the DLCs a try, but I'm honestly worried about the Lord of Thunder. I think Hellfire Knight and Frozen Empress aren't going to be that bad, though getting to Frozen Empress might be a little annoying. But I have a lot of doubts about being able to even just get to Lord of Thunder. Lord of Thunder is the worst one to try and get to. It's not a contest. If you're... The hardest one to get to is the Lord of Thunder, as far as DLCs go. Hellfire Knight has a couple interesting but ultimately manageable fights. Frozen Empress, you just have to be careful with the turrets in one of the fights. And the monkeys in the other fight. As long as you're careful about the ambush, you're fine. Lord of Thunder. Getting to the Lord of Thunder is a pain in the ass. Because both of the fights you have to beat in order to access Lord of Thunder are ganks. One is a trio of lost ladies, which doesn't sound that bad. Until you stop and realize that there's one teleporting around, one hitting you from a distance, and one that if she closes in on you, you have to parry or you are fucked. And they all give damage boosts. And then the second one for that... Oh boy. I might just skip out on Lord of Thunder. Like, Lord of Thunder has some really damn good blood codes and stuff. And Lord of Thunder itself is actually pretty cool of a fight. But holy shit, the two mini-bosses. The second mini-boss is an annoying enemy that summons a pretty much endless supply of minions, I think. Or not endless, but it summons a small army worth of minions. Or there's a small army worth of smaller enemies that come in and fight you while you're trying to fight the boss. Neither of the other two DLCs have protections that are that bad. I'll try Lord of Thunder, but I'm not making any promises. Do I want to end early, or do I want to try and get through here, at least partially? I can run around for a bit, I guess. This place is annoying specifically if you're a caster, but it's pretty fine otherwise. The reason it's annoying if you're a caster... Oh dear. Is because standing in the sand actually drains your Ichor. And because standing in the sand drains your Ichor, if you're not careful, you can wind up unable to cast a spell at all. I recommend drain attacks here whenever possible. Which means parries and backstabs. Because launch drains are notoriously tricky to get going. Oh dear. And if you wind up with leak on you and you can't get rid of it, just spam spells until you run out of Ichor. Better to use it than lose it. And believe me, if you have leak, you will lose it. Oh dear. We're gonna go backwards a bit. Oh dear. Okay, I can fight one of those two with relatively little issue. But fighting the second one is where things get a little tricky. Hi. I make no promises about actually winning against Eva, but I can probably get a decent way through the Crown of Sand. I don't want to go too far over, because I think I owe my dog a WALK. And I'm not going to have the motivation to do that after lunch, so it has to be before. It's probably not going to be a long one, maybe like a half hour at most, but still.
Jack, there's something I've wanted to say to you for a long time.
Back over here, and then I can actually progress. I'm considering how I want to do my future specific companion-only runs. Because not all companions are going to be able to best the quote-unquote true final boss. Is that a third one I hear? That's a third one. Hi. Considering that I'm prepping a character for specific companions only, it might be worthwhile to just have it to where I kill off all of the successors and then make a judgment call. Oh dear. Oh dear. Regarding the Crown of Sand. Oh shit, you're not dead. Because there's actually two potential final bosses depending on what ending you go for. Technically speaking, so long as a build can defeat Skull King, it can beat the game. However, why are you always such a pain in the ass? A lot of people will say that it's not a proper ending if you don't go for the last boss possible. So at that point, it becomes a matter of technicality versus the spirit of it. And that's where I'm conflicted. Because I don't have very high hopes for Jack specifically, being able to best the true final boss.
Why am I all alone?
Or, well, the final boss. The others might be able to eke out a win. I know that when I do Eva only, she'll be able to she'll manage. If I can manage to get there, of course. Mia only might also manage. But it's a rough situation with Jack specifically. Yeah, I think I'm going... Since I'm prepping a character for it, I think what I'm gonna do is make it all the way to the Crown of Sand and then do a judgment call. If I don't think they can handle... Or based on their performance, if I don't think they can handle the final boss, then I'm just not going to, attempt it. I'll let Eva die. If I think they can handle the final boss, then I'll save Eva. Because the final boss is only available if you make sure to leave at least one successor alive. As soon as you save a successor, you've locked yourself out of the worst ending of the game. And because you've locked yourself out of the worst ending of the game, you have to fight the final boss. And as soon as you let a successor perish, you've locked yourself out of the best ending in the game. Or what's considered the best or true ending. Which, in a way, it actually is the best ending. Oh, not you with the red! Fuck these red guys! I couldn't move! Oh dear. Oopsie daisy. I keep parrying early. Even if I don't manage to beat this area, I've made a ton of progress today, so I'm not disappointed. Ooh, more titanium. We're just gonna remove you from a distance. Okay. And now I would go over there. My goal is the loop around. I don't think I'm actually going to beat the Crown of Sand, but the first... Oh dear. Loop around would be nice to have. Actually, I think that's going to be a staple for most challenge runs. Unless I specifically need something for a build, I'm going to try and... Oh dear. Or I'm going to make a judgment call as to whether I think I can win against the final boss once I hit Crown of Sand. You do not get to exist. Oh dear. I actually like the Crown of Sand. Even though it's a bit of a pain in the ass as a caster. It's still... Like, look at this. It's gorgeous and desolate in its own way. I could technically go get that. But I'm not going to worry about it for now. I want the loop around. Like, quite literally, fuck everything else. Give me the loop around. That slope with the ball alone is incredibly dangerous. And I'd rather not have to go back up that. At least if I unlock this, I can just teleport back to the first missile in the area and make my way from there. How much titanium do I have? 3. That's not enough to upgrade my sword, but it might be enough to upgrade something else. Well, it's definitely enough to upgrade something else, but do I want to? I'm either dying or progressing, so... Send that back down. Or I might vivify. I suppose it depends, but I might vivify. There's 3 of them. Okay. I would like to actually have a little more in the way of Iker for dealing with this guy. So we're gonna do this. It's kind of a waste, but I want Cleansing Light active. Would you get close so I can... Leak is a lot less annoying than Inhibit, but it still serves a similar purpose. To keep you from casting your gifts. can I? There we go. Drain attacks do more damage than outright attacking with the weapon does. Here we go, and now I can collect what's left here, and then I'm probably going to just vivify and go back to base. Because I definitely don't have enough Ichor to chance the rest of this area. Wow, turns out we both have shit aim. Or... yeah, let's just vivify. I don't care. It's not like vivifiers are that useful. They're useful, but I don't use them often. So, back to base. I'm going to want to actually save and quit within the Crown of Sand itself so that I don't wind up doing things that I already did. Or trying to do things that I already did. We shall see. Oh, right, Eos. I can turn in an Eos vestige. Hold on. Upgrade weapon. Because my weapon is... big. Huh? No? At least I don't think there's a phone ringing. Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's a phone ringing. Why? Okay, the rest of my haze goes to leveling, and then we fast travel to the Crown of Sand. Heard what more than 5 times? Oh, what you might be hearing is actually the sound of the missile. Because it has a humming sound. Let's see if we can, like, pay attention. If you hear... let me see if I can hear it and point it out. That's the missile sound. Yeah, that's just the sound effect of the missiles. The missile are your resting points. Well, the big missile. The small missile just unlock map. It's an audio cue that tells you, hey, you're near a safe space. I'll be honest, my brain kind of tunes it out at this point. Seriously, look at those spines, or thorns of judgment. The design in this area is great. Anyway, I'm gonna call it there. If you're interested in anything I've done up until this point, you can check out my YouTube channel. I try to upload stuff same day, and a group of my runs by playlists so they're easier to find. If you're interested in seeing my announcements, I post them to Instagram. And if you're interested in seeing my clips in an easier fashion, I post them to YouTube, TikTok, and, when it lets me, Instagram. Links to all of that are in the chat now. If you've made it this far and are curious to see where I go from here, why not drop a follow? It takes but one button press, and you can always change your mind if you decide my content isn't for you. Yes, I try to raid every day. Tomorrow is actually going to be an event, since we're at 100 followers and have stayed there. I'm going to be doing a day of Genshin Impact. Anyone who wants to will be able to redeem points in order to make me do things. There's going to be restrictions, but I'll have those, like, typed out and stuff for tomorrow. Thursday, it's back to... I've raided with one before, so the people I tend to raid... I don't raid randoms. I always vet the people I raid beforehand, so they know the drill. Friday, it's back to Hollow Knight Silksong. That one might be a little shorter, because I don't know for certain, but I heard my mom talking about the possibility of my grandma showing up. So just assume that Friday we are on the grandma timer. Monday and Tuesday, it's back to Amalur. I'll be starting Mithros. And Wednesday, I'll be finishing up the Crown of Sand. I can't make any promises about Crypt Spire, but Crown of Sand should be doable. The last week of October, I will be doing Chalice Week, where I go through Bloodborne's Chalice dungeons, and anybody who wants to participate in co-op is more than welcome to. Just the Chalice dungeons are not very fun solo. One moment. Magnifico's playing Elden Ring, so let's go say hi to him. That said, happy time zones, everyone. And I hope you all have an excellent day.